how to prepare for the TANCET.
Okay, when you're preparing for the TANCET, you need to ensure that you're following a very structured and organized preparation methodology. This is not like an university exam. Most of us, when you're preparing for the university exams, spend only 1 or 2 nights doing a group study, a group effort, and then trying to crack the university exam in that short duration of time. For the TANCET, it doesn't work that way, because in the TANCET, you're trying to change your entire mindset, your entire approach to these questions. In school and in college, you try to learn everything, you try to memorize what you are learning and then applying it in the exam. Learning and memorizing here, say when you're doing a test trying to learn a reading comprehension passage, is not going to help you answer the questions in the short amount of time that you have. Same way, you can't follow the traditional mathematical approach to solving questions in order to solve these math problems, because you have less than 1.5 minutes per question. If you have to change your entire mindset, you have to do lots of practice adopting the new strategies. Look through the guide that you've been given and you will be able to see a number of strategies discussed for each of the sections. Learn your fundamentals and ensure that you get your fundamentals in place first. Please do not focus on just starting off with previous year question papers. Previous year question papers have to be solved at the end of your preparation once you have your fundamentals in place. So when you're working at the beginning, learn the strategies, learn the concept for each section, and then you have a number of practice sets and questions given. Follow the strategies given and apply those in the practice sets that you are practicing on, that you're working on. When you are doing this, please ensure that you also spend a little bit of time working on something outside of the material given. What should you work on outside of the material given? First thing, you need to work on your reading speed. If you are an average reader, if you are not fast at reading and processing material, then I would recommend that from today, you spend 30 minutes a day working on your reading practice. You can read anything you want. You can pick the newspaper and read articles there. You can go online and read articles on the internet. You can read a storybook, or you can even read your university book. You might as well learn something while you are at it. Right? The choice is yours, but get something done. Read something every day for 30 minutes. Only then will your reading speed improve enough for you to be able to tackle these two sections. Remember, 40 of your 100 questions are based on reading material, and you need to have a basic comfort with reading in place before you attempt the actual TANCET examination. Same way with math, get your fundamentals in place, learn your formula, learn your concepts. Also learn how you can approach based on the shortcuts that have been given, how you can save time and apply that in your practice material. The reason you've been given 1500 practice questions is because you need to practice at least those many number of questions before you're comfortable enough to crack the TANCET. Otherwise, you will still be approaching the test in your old format, in your old methodology, and you will not be able to attempt everything in the time that has been given to you.
Test day preparation strategies.
As soon as you get your hall ticket, there is something that you have to do. Find out where your test center is. Identifying where your test center is ahead of time is very helpful, because then you can plan when you're going to start and when you're going to reach the center. Find out how you're going to go there to the test center. Are you going to take a public transport, or are you going to go by your own vehicle? If you're going by public transport, when is the time of the bus to the train? Where should you get down? How long will it take you to reach the test center? Know all that ahead of time. Similarly, if you're going by bike, find out how much traffic there will be there in that particular route on any given day, and how early you have to start in order to reach the test center. Reach early. Do not reach at the last minute. Do not be all nervous and jittery when you are entering the test center, because you want to be calm and composed. Otherwise, you will not be able to give your best attempt to this particular test. Also, take enough rest the previous night. You need to sleep well so that you are able to think out of the box and answer the questions effectively. This is not a university exam where you take a book and then you scan through it till you enter the test room. Right? Finish all your preparation ahead of time, preferably by the previous evening. Get a good night's sleep and be well prepared on the actual day of the test. Something else that you have to do is you have to ensure you're looking at all 100 questions that are there in the paper. Some people start at question 1, they answer each question in sequence irrespective of whether they find that question easy or difficult. You will be able to attempt only about 80 questions in the test, which means if you're going from 1 and in order. You will not see the last 15-20 questions at all. If you miss out on seeing the last 15-20 questions, then you have missed out on answering some of the easy questions that are there towards the end of the paper. And you will come out with a very bad feeling because you've missed out on an opportunity to score more and better marks in the actual test, which means you have to plan how you're going to attempt the test. Answer all the easy questions from every section in the test. Alright? If you have a particular strength, if you're good in math and if you're weak in verbal, then start with the math sections because that will make you feel more confident and you can capitalize on your strengths. There are 2 sections in math, a total of 40 questions. Try and attempt as many of those questions as you can. 35-38 questions out of your strengths that you're attempting, then that's a good 35 marks that you have scored. And then you can look through the verbal sections to see how many more marks you can score from the 3 verbal sections. If you're good in a particular section, do not skip your weaker sections entirely. For example, I've heard people say, I'm not very comfortable with math, I'll skip the entire math section and I'll do only the remaining 60 verbal questions. You need a total of 60 marks if you want to get an admission into Anna University. If you're attempting only 60 questions, taking into account any mistakes that you would make, any negative marks that you will be incurring, it means you're missing out on an opportunity to get a seat at the Anna University campus. So instead of skipping a section completely, capitalize on your strengths. If you're good in verbal, then do as many questions as you can from the verbal section. But from the math section, attempt at least the easy ones so that you're attending a total of 75 to 80 questions. Without attempting 75 to 80 questions, it's going to be very difficult to actually get an admission in the Anna University campus. Plan your time accordingly. Spend 20 to 25 minutes per section. For your reading based sections, which is business situation analysis, reading comprehension and your math section. So the first 3 sections in your test, you will need approximately 25 minutes a section. Data sufficiency and error identification, you can give yourself a little less time. You can get the questions done in about 20 minutes. So split the time accordingly. Ensure that you are spending a fixed amount of time in each section. Within that time, try and answer as many questions as you can. Try to do 12 to 15 questions in each of the sections. And then move on to the next section. So that you are attempting all the sections and that you are attempting all the easy questions in the sections. This way, you're being a smart test taker and you're capitalizing on your strengths and getting a good 75 to 80 questions done in the time that you have. All the best.